Hey guys, so people are getting thrown out of windows, people are having sex and squirting all over the place. I don't know, stay tuned, we're going to talk about it all.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
And then there were two. It's just us today, guys. We have a couple of us out, but that's okay. We're going to keep this thing going.
We are.
Juliet, what's up, girl?
Nothing. Long week, good week, great episode.
Yes, I know. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Instagram. Please follow me at Bonjour Juliet.
Bonjour, Juliet. I love your accent. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about. Like a lot of different things happened. I know. And you like the episode?
I was actually thinking about that throughout the episode. I feel like this season is a calmer and kind of slower season than other past seasons that are more dramatic and had way more ups and downs, which has led to certain episodes to be extra slow. And I feel like sometimes on our panel, I'm just kind of like, meh, I'm not crazy about this episode, but this one I loved. So.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I liked it too. There were a lot of things today, I think, that happened where I was kind of like a little shocked or didn't really expect it to happen or, you know, whatever. So it was good. And I want to jump right in and start with Ian today. So Ian finally kind of gave in to his desire to figure out Trevor. I think a lot of that was trying to figure out whether he could actually make that relationship happen because he didn't understand it so much. And finally was just like, screw it, we'll figure it out. What do you think about that whole situation? Because I know you liked how they were kind of, Shameless itself was kind of giving us a learning process throughout this show.
They definitely were. I'm actually happy because I think a friendship's about to be formed with them too. And I think that's good. We haven't really seen, actually none of them really have friends when you think of it. I think they really all have, the family have each other. So I'm happy that he's going to have a friend out of this.
That's really true. I never really thought about that. No one's actually had, like, besides V and Kev.
Even their family kind of, yeah.
Right. There's no long-term friends.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. And I really thought, because it's been a back and forth about, like, are they going to be together or not going to be together. I didn't like the idea just because I thought that Trev was not being acceptant of Ian's reluctance, and it wasn't reluctant, he just like didn't really know. And so it was a really cute way how that resolved, and they're like, wait, I don't like this, and actually, when it comes to I've heard this, it's true that when it comes
Just saying.
when it comes to gay male sex, it's true that you, before encountering them, you have to have those conversations. I feel like
about who likes what position, and what did they both say? They were both toppers. I'm pretty both tops. So
it can't work. So, but I don't know. Like for me personally, I'm putting out there, I'm straight, and like I don't necessarily have those conversations. You kind of figure out as you go.
Or that's something that's not really explored until way later, if it's explored ever. So yeah. But I thought that it was funny how that finally, resolved itself on its own. Like they were so worried about it and trying to figure it out when in reality they could have just tried, and they both realized, nope, this isn't going to work. And they had a good laugh and, and that was it.
It was a really cute scene and kind of educational in a way, too.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
What did you think about his scene today with work? So he has a tough scene because, the lady was in a car accident, and she was trying to tell him something. I don't know what the language was either. Spanish is what
I thought it was Portuguese.
Portuguese, okay.
But I may be wrong, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, and, she ended up dying in front of him, which, oh, God, I couldn't even imagine. Even if you don't know the person, just, that would be awful. And Trevor was that person that he could confide in, so I do think that it's going to be a good friendship, someone he's very comfortable with.
I think so, too. It's that job, it must be really like living that situation just must be awful. And it's your job, it's a recurring thing. Not every day that dark, but still like having to live with that is really hard. And especially with his, situation, mentally, it just really must take a toll.
Well, right.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad he has this friendship, because he wanted to go see him and talk to him. And okay, he won't have that support that you have in like a partner. But he has a friend, so we all need a friend. I need a friend. Go follow me on Instagram.
That's so true. We do. Well, Lip has a new friend today. Not really a new friend. A new hobby, I guess we could call it. I was saying to Juliet that I really wish Phil was here today because I so badly wanted to ask him about squirters and see if he's ever encountered one because they're like unicorns, apparently. They do exist, but no one sees them. Do you know anyone that squirts? Like, do you have a girlfriend that was, like, has told you, oh, yeah, I've done that before?
I do not.
Do you personally?
I don't, but I kind of, I don't know, I hope it'd be happen one day.
You think you could teach yourself how? Do you think that's a skill you can learn?
I'm sure. Well, from this episode, it's like the biggest kind of like aha moment that you can get. Like, who doesn't want that? I want to do that.
Right. Yeah, Lip and his friend were talking like, oh my God, dude, you saw one? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me again her name. I'm like having a total blank. The one that he has sex with, Neil's sister.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
Just call her Squirtsy.
Yeah, I wrote down Squirter as well. Yeah, so they had a weird situation going on today, and I want to know your opinion because the way that I read her face after they had a bit of a serious conversation, I want to see if we have a similar opinion. So episode started off good. She was comfortable with him because she squirted and said she doesn't do that until she's comfortable with someone, which kind of led his friends and everyone to be like, oh, she's getting comfortable with you, dude. Like, she's trying to, close in.
I'm torn because I think, okay, she's getting comfortable, but I think that happens whenever you start seeing someone more and more. You just
comfortable.
Like, it's comfortable. Doesn't mean you're necessarily getting touched. It's just like you've seen certain parts several times.
Right.
You've done certain things several times, so you're kind of in a groove, and it allows you to let loose and not overthink, which I feel like we all have issues with.
But when he said, at the end, you had me cut up Lucas's potatoes and, whatever, and she was like, kind of gave him that, like, we should get married. You could be his dad, faking around with him. But then at the end, when he left and she was kind of still standing there a little somber, did you read that, like, oh, crap, she actually really does like him and could see that happening, and now she's, like, just embarrassed because she can't?
I think she...
Because that's how I read it. I looked at her and was like, oh, she totally did want to be his girlfriend.
Oh, she definitely played with him. She did that to, like, see how he would react, if he'd laugh it off. Because, like, I don't think... She definitely wasn't serious, but that was definitely for her.
Right.
Trying to see, like, okay, how he's going to react to that. And, yeah, his reaction wasn't ideal. So I think that must have hurt her a little. But I do like the fact that she... went against him and called him out, because I feel, especially this season, Lip's been like really obnoxious. I don't like him this season.
He's really arrogant.
He thinks he's the shit, and so I just like that she called him out, like, hey, do you really think you have a magic penis and I can't control myself? And I get so frustrated. Boys are stupid. Boys are so stupid.
Oh, that's funny. I do love him though, and I've always loved his character, and even though he is definitely on the arrogant side this season, some of the things that he says are still totally relevant or very true. And we'll get to Fiona later. I kind of want to end with her, but I was in agreement with him today about the loan being a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll
you want to get to that later?
We'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, because I think we have a lot more to talk about with that. With Lip's job, though, his internship, so he's trying to hack them for money, hack the hackers, and he doesn't necessarily get in trouble this episode, but the company does. The FBI come back in, shut them down this time for good, and you can see some of the employees getting arrested. Although he doesn't think that they found him or kind of trace him to, back to any of that hacking. Do you think there's more to that, or do you think he's kind of just like, shit, it's not going to work anymore? I
don't know. Well, I feel like they have to. To be honest, I think that so far, this storyline's been a little weak. I feel like we've seen the cops arrive to that already. We've seen them do this. I felt like, why are they recycling this? So hopefully there's a bigger thing, and maybe he's going to get in trouble and we'll have another twist from it. If not, I just really think it's a weak storyline.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was either hoping to see him work his way up a little bit to where he actually is making money, or he's really good, or maybe he was doing some of the hacking for the company itself, or something. But yeah, I know what you mean. It seems reused.
We've seen those scenes already.
Right.
They need to switch it up. So.
Okay. Good. Yeah, and so we'll talk about Lip and Fiona a little bit later. We'll talk about her with kind of all of her siblings, because she had storylines with everyone today. Yeah. So how about Kevin V today? So we keep saying as a panel, and a lot of you guys too, that we like Kevin V together, not as a trio. We want to see those Kevin V moments again. And I think they might be coming back now after this weird fucking situation with Svetlana and her dad.
Yeah.
It was not her dad.
It's not her dad.
It's her husband.
Which I'm kind of, if that's the case, I'm kind of happy about. Because remember, I keep saying, like, it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. If they both feel like they've been betrayed by the same person, you know, it's kind of the same thing. People who have a common enemy just bond.
Right.
So I think that might apply.
I don't know whether I don't think they're going to dislike her still, but I feel like that definitely puts up, you know, how are they going to adopt kids now when they're married? Like, that's going to all be screwed up.
Threesome becomes foursome. It's just a little too many people now for this relationship. Before it was crowded, now it's super crowded.
Well, okay, so when we first saw Yvonne having sex, I looked at you and I was like, oh my God, it's Svetlana. And you were like, no, it's going to be so weird. And then finally they said it was. And I was like, oh God, it's bizarre. Yeah. Makes sense now that it's her husband.
It makes sense. I kind of figured that out. Like, I don't know when I can pinpoint it in the episode, but I think I put two and two together at one point. Because it didn't make sense. What I don't understand is, maybe I didn't catch it, but why they didn't assume it'd be just a random person. Like, why was Kev like, oh my God, like, why was he shocked? He'd just be like, okay, you just walked in, like,
I guess
no one's
because
home.
the guy, like, doesn't leave the house until he goes to work, maybe, or doesn't speak English, or they thought he couldn't pick anyone up.
What?
Who knows?
Maybe he followed Fiona and has Tinder?
Tinder. Or Phil. It was Phil.
It was Phil.
We still have to make him a Tinder account.
That's why he's not here today.
Yeah.
He's been on
He's
Tinder
on Tinder.
all day
He's on a
long.
Tinder date. He's going to kill us.
Phil. Hope you score.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah, I'm hoping to see more in Kevin V moments because today all of their lines and dialogue was with each other, and I just love them so much. Especially Kev, he's hysterical with all of the, you know, I have a lot of rape and incest things going on around my mind, and I just have to shake it off. Okay. He's crazy.
He is crazy.
We have to get him back on the show. Steve Howey was here last season. You can watch that interview if you want to see more about him, but he was nuts. He was amazing.
Really? I really want him to come back.
Hysterical. And had a lot of really funny stories. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, Debbie and Neil, and by the way, Neil is my new favorite character.
He is the perfect Shameless character because he is
so good.
Shameless.
Shameless, absolutely.
Unapologetic and just says what's on his mind, and it's always true. Okay, a little sexually inappropriate at times, but hey, he can get away with it. That's why we love him.
He has amazing delivery.
Great actor. I don't know who
Oh
this
my
actor
God.
is. Awesome.
Yeah.
Really portrays the character really well.
So funny when he's telling Fiona that she has a great ass because it makes up for her small tits. Just stuff like that. It's so funny.
Such like the worst backhand compliment. Like, you have a great ass. Oh, to make up for your small tits.
Right.
Why can't I have both? Just be amazing.
She's comfortable with her small tits. She
Her
lets
tits,
those
we've
show.
seen those tits like throughout the years. They look good.
Yeah, they're not that.
I actually remember her doing an interview. What's her name?
Emmy Rossum.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she was saying that people get really comfortable when they see someone on TV and like they'll approach her in the street and be like, oh, you're great, blah, blah, blah. And people, just because they see you on screen, are comfortable and came up to her and were like, oh, you really should start doing more push-ups because your boobs are starting to sag. Someone actually said that to her. I don't know I forget what interview it was, but...
Oh my God, I would never have the balls to say something like that. Anne would never say that. That's so weird because her tits are not sagging.
Yeah,
and she looks
like,
phenomenal.
who the fuck are you? You can't say that. Can I say that?
Yeah, it's Shameless. It's the Shameless panel. We're allowed to swear. Not some other ones, but this one absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Fuck
good.
yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, she's hot. That's retarded.
Yeah.
But the scene that I was looking at today and was kind of like, how does Lip and the other girl, and I'll figure out her name, I'm sorry, but like that scene, him going down on her, that looked so real that it's like,
I was thinking about that. I'm like, how did they put
how
like,
did
the
they
thing
do
on his
that?
chin?
That and like she's just spread eagle naked, and they're even making fake sounds. I don't know if you listen that closely, like little slurping sounds and stuff. And
well, from a production standpoint,
right?
I just think she's wearing one of those they're like beige underwears that you give actors. Mm-hmm. So it looks like she's naked. She's not. He's probably not really touching that. All the noises that you hear are in post.
Whatever, yeah.
But what I was wondering is like how they.
But he's still down there with her naked chest and whatever, so it's still pretty.
It is, but keep in mind that you have, I don't know, even though they call it, what is it called, skeleton crew, it's still like you have a light guy, you have so many people around you.
Right,
those
it's
are
not
boobs, but
sexual. It's
just so many people are watching you with like this. I don't think you can really like get into it.
It's just
unless
work.
you're really freaky. So
and they're like, I love this. Keep taping. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are into that kind of stuff, you know?
Or yeah. I'm just kidding.
Sure, could be. Yeah, why not? I'll try anything once. That is not true. Okay. But yeah, so Debbie and Neil, we found out they're engaged, and her reasoning is because they don't want, she doesn't want Franny to get taken away from her, and he has money from his accident settlement, which you find out is not enough, to last an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
But for her right now, it's an easy fix, and so she wants to marry him.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm torn again because I think they both have reason to gain from this, and I don't think she's malintentioned.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But the commitment thing is what makes it not a good situation. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they should be like some kind of expiration date, and the fact that she's wanting to get married, it's gonna be bad.
Or it should be great. You've used him now. You're engaged, but you've used him enough to keep your baby. Now, move on, or be friends.
I want him to stay around.
Her monologue though about how she doesn't have any options, and how about his options. Well, I mean, like, who's going to take care of him? Are you going to be around for the rest of your life? Like, who's going to want to be with somebody that just speaks their mind like that? And that was kind of true, is you guys should kind of hop on board because I'm going to be around for your brother who's probably never going to find somebody else.
Yeah, very true. Yeah,
that was the one point that came out of that I agreed with. That's
why I think as of right now, in a twisted way, they both really need each other, and it's kind of sweet because there's that need and there's that companionship, which, to some degree you can call love, I guess, but I feel like he might benefit from her in the long run more than she'll benefit from him, which will ultimately like make them not last. Right. Yep, I agree with that. Were you not upset? That wouldn't be the right word, but how did you feel about Debbie getting that good test coming back? The first test that she had with Franny, found out that her physical test or whatever was fine. Were you on the side of like, oh, I think she should get her baby taken away because it would be better for her, or better for the baby, or like, no, I definitely want her to keep her baby because it's her baby? Well, you know what? Because of Neil, I want her to keep the baby. I feel like even though she has to take care of Neil, to have that extra person that she's take care of and somehow he takes care of her in a way. Mm-hmm. Makes her more stable. Like, she has the home, she's cooking, she's like being the housewife that she kind of was dreaming about being when she was trying to get pregnant. Yeah, and I was gonna say that she was always kind of motherly before she had Franny, and then I think it was just such shock, and it was just such a shit show that that she had no chance of being that motherly figure. And I did see that today, that she seemed a little bit more like a housewife, or wanting to do those kind of nurturing things, take care of somebody, whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in that sense, I agree. Last week when the, protective services came in, I did say, oh, as much as this is going to suck, this might be better for her in the long run. But it seems like she'll be keeping Franny, so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Someone that can't keep their family together would be Frank. And by family, I mean fake family. All the homeless people that he today is making look more homeless so that they can make more money. His quote was like, "The dollar is in the details." And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, more dirt under those fingernails. Exactly. But again, like, Frank is, even though he's so twisted, but he's such a smart man. I'm like, why don't you apply that to like actual things? He's such a good bullshitter. That's what he is. Yes. I mean, but dollars in the detail, manipulator. Like, yeah, right. It's a good production tip, I'm just saying. Right? Look at my shirt. Isn't this? Yeah. Well, and he even, obviously, we knew that he was stealing their money and using it for his own personal benefit, but today we see exactly what he's buying. Like, he bought steak, and he had Blue Label in his closet. He had his own drug money closet. And you see how his drugs were, like, hanging so neatly? That's the neatest thing he's ever done. And he doesn't trust the bank, which is hysterical. He was just going to bury the money. Mm-hmm. Like Carl buried money at one point, and actually it did work for the time that he needed it. Side note, remember that was, I know we're getting off track, but the someone, I forget, I think Ian's like, what have you ever done? He was like, well, I bought
Oh my
them.
God, that was so funny. What was the context of that line? Oh, he's like, I do a lot for the house. You guys need me. And he's like, what have you ever done? And he just went, bought it. I laughed really hard. That was amazing.
It was just like, only in Shameless. And yeah, so that's very true. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was another thing we'll get to with Fiona at the house. That pissed me off. So yeah, but Frank stealing all this money, and the one kid, he's New Lip, right? New Lip found out that he was taking their money. He was the one that was kind of always onto it because he'd come back with $50 and Frank would take 45 of it, and he'd be like, "What the hell, dude?" So they broke into his room and found all this stuff, and then threw him out the window, which we found out today. There's a word for that, throwing someone out of a window, because the episode was called the Defenestration of Frank, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I had to Google that word because I had never seen it before. And it literally means to throw someone out of a window. Interesting.
Yeah.
I said I've learned a lot of vocabulary on this show.
Good. It's very educational. Show.
Yes, it is. Frank's a hot mess now. He has like nowhere to go. He looked like crap. He was totally bloody. And he had a boot on his foot. Like he, broke his foot or whatever.
No, yeah.
What's next for Frank?
Well, I don't know. He definitely went to the hospital again to get that boot. I got one not so long ago. Those things are expensive.
Right. Where does he get the money?
He always goes to the hospital, and I don't know what happens to
I
his
think we're supposed to overlook all of that.
Yeah.
Somehow he gets out of it because he doesn't have any ID, and they can never bill him. Like the when he came out of a coma from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
They never billed him.
Crazy. So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited to see what's in store next for.
Well, I think he comes back to the house. That's usually where he ends up trying to come back
and
to.
then on to another scam and another scam.
Right. It's just a never-ending circle. Oh. Do you want to see his storyline go anywhere else?
No.
No.
Fuck no. It's Shameless.
I know. That's
what
true.
We do without Frank. He's the glue.
The glue that keeps
The
this
toxic
shit show together?
The toxic glue that you really shouldn't inhale. It's bad for you, but still.
But
no,
you
the glue
do.
nonetheless.
Yeah, well, hopefully he doesn't somehow screw up Carl's life, because Carl, at least as of now, is on a good path going to military school. He did decide to go, even though that dumb bitch Dominique tried to screw with his brain and get him to stay. Okay, what is with her? So she comes back out of nowhere and is like, I miss you, blah, 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 blah.
She just wants what she can't have. She found out he left and like, oh, I'm never seeing him. Oh, he's going to military school because blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so hot now. I'm like, just shut up. I hate you.
Right. But, God, they're so young. I didn't even have those thoughts when I was that young. Like, to play with guys like that. That wasn't like...
Yeah, but you have those thoughts now?
To play with guys? Well, I have a boyfriend of a long time, so no.
Well,
but maybe back in college,
a
little bit. But I was older, and
yeah. But her thing is like, it's fine to play with guys, but she's just like vindictive. Like she just doesn't care about people's feelings. And she's like I shouldn't have done that to you. I'm still kind of giving you mixed signals and like.
And then we find her with a guy at the end of the episode, which I was like, thank God, because then I knew Carl was actually going to go through with going to military school. But we find out the guy is uncircumcised, and she's like, I'm okay with it now. And that's when I was like, oh, you little bitch.
Yeah.
That poor kid got his dick chopped off for her.
He did. To be fair, she never asked him to, but still.
Well, right, but
she was like, I won't. Yeah, whatever. She's just pretty girl syndrome.
It was funny too because Lips called him earlier when they were playing on his Apache background. He called him, yes, come here, marches with foreskin. That was his Indian name. I thought that was funny.
That is funny.
Or marches without foreskin was his name.
Even in the morning, we Lips like, can you give me the cereal? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. And that's what he called him. That was hysterical.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Carl has to memorize that honor code before he goes, and he kind of read that and was like, I will not deceive anyone else. I will not steal from another person. And he was kind of like, what the hell? What the fuck? Like, how am I going to do that?
Yeah.
Or not do that?
Well, I like the pep talk they had at the party that they were supposed to have. They're like, you did great in juvie. You did great when blah, 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 and you're selling drugs or whatnot. And it's like, yeah, you've been through a lot, very tough stuff, so you'll be fine in military school.
Yeah. Well, and they did say the Gallaghers are a lot of things, which we've heard season and season again, but we're not scared of anything, and we're tough.
Yeah,
like,
we're
we
tough.
don't run
We
away
don't
from
give
a fight.
up. Mm-hmm.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they go through so much. Some of it would totally break. anybody else.
Yeah, they over the years have built the toughest skin, and that's the one thing no one can ever take away from them.
Yeah, for sure. And then we'll talk about Carl in scenes for next week. If you guys watch those, it's going to be good. I think his storyline's going to be really fun. And it's very, reminiscent of his days at Juvie, where he kind of comes in and takes over.
Yeah, Carl runs the show.
Yes, if that's even possible at military school. So what about Fiona today? Let's get into her. She had a little bit of a storyline with everyone. Ian, her, and Lip, we see them have a nice little moment in her bedroom because she bought an air conditioner, keep themselves cool, where they were kind of all sharing what was going on in their life. And I did like that moment because it was very like old school Shameless, when they were all really getting along. But that kind of changed very quickly, especially with her and Lip.
Yeah, I do love, their relationship, how openly they can talk about sex amongst each other.
Right.
Which is nice. I think it's important to have those conversations. I think it's really important to talk about sex with your friends and to get perspective. But I don't think I could ever do that with my family members. And I feel we're close, but like I don't think I'd be comfortable with my brother. Be like, yeah, this girl squirted in my face. I'd be like,
right.
Stop.
Yeah, please shut up and walk away. Yeah, my brother and I are close.
I can't believe I said that. Now I'm thinking of it. Oh god.
That's hysterical. Yeah, my brother and I are close, my older brother, but and I think we've maybe talked about sex a few times, but nothing like in depth, like
that graphic.
Yeah, no, not at all. Definitely not with my parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's talk about something else. It's gross.
But yeah, so her and Lip are fighting because he finds out that she took out a loan for $80,000 from the bank to buy the laundromat, and he asked what the collateral was, and she puts down their freaking house, which isn't hers. It's in her name, but it's not hers.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's pissed.
I would be pissed too. Yeah. There's two things. I love everything that she's doing. She's being boss lady Fiona. That's what we want. She's making all these good for you. Keep on doing that. It sucks that he doesn't support you because he definitely should. But your house is not up to give. And your whole thing this season is like, I'm done being the mom. I'm done being the caregiver. This is not, I want less responsibility. I'm taking care of myself. Everyone needs to contribute, which means that you're not responsible for the house. You've literally, that's what you've installed.
You've literally given up your responsibility.
Exactly. So it's not given. It's not always your way. You can't just be like, oh, I'm not running things anymore, but I can make this ultimate decision that everyone will be involved if things don't work out. Just no, that was good.
I was not okay with that, and I do like seeing Fiona, taking control of her life and trying to better herself and, be a boss lady. But if you wanted to not care about your family at all, don't be their legal guardian. Sorry, if you decide to take that on, that responsibility comes with possibly having to take care of the people that you are the guardian for. And so the fact that she just kind of doesn't give a shit at all if maybe the house doesn't go, goes away, that really bothered me. And the worst part is she doesn't know how to run a business whatsoever. She thinks because she's good at managing patsies that she can own a business. Yeah. And it's like crazy for her to think that, yeah, great, I'll just get $80,000 out from the bank. I'll open this laundromat and make that back, and it'll be no big deal.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think she
doesn't even realize.
She doesn't realize. I don't think she doesn't care. I think she's so on this streak of like winning that she thinks it's gonna be a breeze.
Right.
And that's why she doesn't think of it. She's like, no, it's gonna do great, and she's not being responsible in that sense where all her family members would be affected by this.
Right. And it makes me so anxious when they sign all of those contracts, and stuff has happened in the past without any kind of legal
I'm
consultation.
worried about that old lady. Yeah, she's gonna get in trouble.
Well, that old lady, something's definitely gonna go bad because she's got memory, obviously some kind of early onset Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever, and something's gonna screw over Fiona sure.
For sure. And I feel like Fiona could potentially get in trouble for having an elderly person that's not necessarily sane mind.
Insane. Yeah, have a sane mind.
Yeah.
Or the other people that were trying to buy the place who knows whether she one day said no and then the next day said yes and then forgot, and now Fiona all of a sudden took over the place, when in reality the old lady never owned it and Fiona couldn't buy it from her. You know, who knows? Something's definitely going to go wrong.
Yeah, always have a lawyer present.
Always.
This is your after show Shameless advice.
No, but seriously, that makes me so anxious. So anxious. Yeah, is there anything else with Fiona that I'm missing? Besides,
No
you know...
boys this episode, which is good.
Yep, no Tinder boys.
No Tinder boys.
I liked her little moment with Carl at the end when she did say that she was very proud of him, and that is that nurturing Fiona that I do miss a little bit.
Or even when she told Debbie, like, no, I'll sign that if that's what you want.
So did you agree with that? I know she said, this isn't what I want for you, but it's your life and it's your choices. But, God, when I was 15 or 16 or however old she is, don't let me make my own choices. Like, I don't know what's right for me, and I don't know. Like, that's why you're my parent or my guardian, and I need you to give me advice.
100%. But, I mean, I don't really know you that well, but
Yeah.
I don't think you grew up in the same
Well,
environment.
correct.
So I feel like
did
she
not.
has been independent for a while. Granted, I don't think she is in the right mind to make this decision, but considering her circumstances.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. True enough.
But were you surprised that she didn't even put up a fight? She's like, yeah, I'll sign it.
I wasn't surprised with that, actually, no.
Really? How
Yeah.
come?
Because there's been so many things with those two that they could fight over, and I think Fiona kind of realized how bad it would be if Franny was taken away, and she does need somebody to kind of help her and make her a little bit more stable, and I don't think she wanted to say no one more time.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was just a lot of no's.
And now there's a twist, like Debbie's going back towards her. Remember, I
Yeah.
forget who said what. It probably was Lip saying something like, "Oh," and Debbie was like, "Yeah, she's been a mom for a long time to us," and defended her. I'm like, "Oh, Debbie's back in her corner." So
Right.
That's sweet to see.
Yeah, one thing that I just looked at on my notes that I didn't say when we were talking about Neil, which is my favorite line of the entire day. Don't forget anal. Right when they were going to have sex, he was like, don't forget anal. Which is amazing. Still my favorite character. I just had to throw that in there, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into some predictions for next week.
And now, your
Oh,
AfterBuzz
those are bright.
TV predictions.
Do you have any?
I'll let
So
you go first.
Fiona, I definitely think something's going wrong with her and the other offer that old lady had. I think somehow that lady forgot that she had already sold the business or something. And we did see scenes for next week where Fiona has so many repairs already to the place that she didn't realize she was going to have to fork up that much money. So, and I'm guessing she's going to have to take out another loan. I mean, they don't have that kind of money to just throw into a business. So I just think that's going to be a total fail.
I agree.
And I think Carl, actually, I don't know about Carl. I want to say that it's going to be like a juvie situation where he takes over because it would be really funny. But I can't imagine that would ever be allowed at military school, like with his actual captains or whatever. I think more so he thinks he kind of runs the, just the older kids that have been there for a year or so, and then he gets his ass handed to him by all of the, adults. Yeah.
I think that little dog's gonna stick around. I think he's gonna be the shameless
Oh,
mass dog.
Pomeranian.
Yeah,
What was his name?
I forget. I don't know if he has a name. We might call
Yeah,
him something.
she called him something on the way out. The girl that was being arrested. Take care of whoever. I forget the name.
Yeah, I think it was like very. I think something's gonna happen to that dog.
That's funny.
I don't necessarily think is gonna happen, but this is what I hope would happen for Lip. I really think he needs to take control of his life, and I kind of like that scene where he's been building up a lot of resentment. I think he's not being supportive of Fiona, and I think that's him projecting his own failures onto her, to be honest. And and even, like, I wrote it down. This morning, he was like, oh, the world's upside down. Like, I'm washing dishes. Carl's getting your scholarship. Okay, maybe that's true, but it's not really, you should be proud about your brother. That's not something you should say out loud.
And really, what was, like, his big accomplishment was getting into college, and he had a scholarship. but then
He screwed it up.
Screwed it up. There wasn't really anything before that that was like very notably like, oh my god, lip.
He was just the smart one.
He was always just the smart one.
He was just the smart one, and I think he's projecting onto everyone because he failed, even though because he was smart, he was giving so many great opportunities, and he failed, and now Carl's giving opportunities. So be happy for your brother. Don't say stuff like that. That's not good. So my prediction / what I want to happen is I want Lip to be a good guy again. I want him to strive, be awesome.
Okay.
He's too good looking to be doing what he's doing.
He is good looking.
So fun. I love him.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm also thinking that Kev and V definitely get closer and kind of back away a little bit from Svetlana.
Good. Yeah, let's go. Team Kevin V.
Yep, I agree. I am also Team Kev and V. Make sure you guys are commenting along with us this week again on YouTube.
Oh, if anyone, in comments, please, if anyone knows what that dying lady was saying, I want to know what she was saying.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. In the ambulance, the language that she's speaking, that would be awesome.
I think it's Portuguese, if anyone speaks Portuguese. And maybe I'm wrong and it's a different language, but yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Keep commenting along. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. AfterBuzz has so many shows that you can watch besides us, even though, I mean, the show's amazing.
Yeah.
And Juliet, where can they find you again on
They
social
can
media?
find me at Bonjour Juliet. And again, like Hayley said, so many networks, Popcorn Talk, BHL, even, and every Monday and Thursday, go watch the Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro. We stream live on Facebook at 7 p.m. And then if you can't get us live, get us at any time. We're streaming on our website. It's awesome. We have a great time.
Yay. And thank you again for watching us this week. We'll be back next weekend. Goodbye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.